Alright, before we get into things, I just want to let you guys know that today's video is long and covers a lot of backstory. If you want to skip around to just the Purge or any other bit, I've included timestamps which you can scrub through down below. With that being said, roll the intro. Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars lore video over here on EckhartsLadder. If you enjoyed these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. And if there's a specific topic you'd like to see me cover in the future, make sure to leave a comment with all the details down below. Now, on my podcast, Tapcaf Transmissions, we've been rereading pretty much all of Star Wars Legends, and most recently read Before the Storm, which is book 1 of the Black Fleet Crisis. The Black Fleet Crisis is an interesting trilogy in Star Wars Legends. It focused probably more than any other Star Wars series on military science fiction. In fact, the trilogy opens with the creation of the New Republic's Fifth Fleet. The book spends a lot of time talking about how the New Republic has deployed their fleets across the galaxy, and basically the Fifth Fleet, as I've covered in prior videos, is used primarily as a roving defense force made up of brand new ships like Nebula and Endurance-class Star Destroyers. Anyway, during this time period, the New Republic is sort of coming to terms with the fact that they are now the most powerful faction in the galaxy. There really is no other group which can stand up and just eliminate the New Republic in one fell swoop, and arguably that's led to a little bit of complacency. However, one discovery threatened the balance of military power in the galaxy. In 16 ABY, the New Republic manages to recover a complete Imperial Order of Battle. An Order of Battle is basically a listing of all Imperial assets in the galaxy. One man over New Republic asset tracking basically takes some time, goes through the Order of Battle, compares it with known and destroyed Imperial vessels, and discovers that there are several fleets operating in one area of space which have not been accounted for. These fleets were a part of Black Sword Command, which, according to New Republic intelligence in Before the Storm, defended the center of the Empire's rim territories: Praxelis, Caridian, the entire Kokash, and Farlak sectors. And this was a lot of firepower, not enough to challenge the New Republic in outright war, but probably enough to, for example, take Coruscant if the entire might of the home fleet was not present. Specifically, at last count, Black Sword Command was made up of 44 capital ships, including 3 super Star Destroyers. So what happened to the ship? Well, this is where the central crisis of the book comes in. After the Battle of Endor, Izani Isard, who was the acting leader of the Empire, ordered that the Black 15 shipyard and all other shipyards in the area be scuttled alongside any ships in construction or repair in order to prevent their capture by the New Republic. Here's what actually happened. As the Empire was preparing to scuttle their ships, the workers, which they had enslaved, and who were known as the Yevethan, staged an uprising and wiped out all Imperial forces, securing the capital ships. Now, the Yevethan had achieved spaceflight, but not faster than light travel by the time the Empire found their territory in the Farlak sector and subjugated them. But they were very technologically adept, and with these new captured Imperial vessels, they were quite powerful. The Yevethan spent over a decade from that point learning the intricacies of Imperial capital ships, repairing and building ships which were in dock, and even building some of their own vessels, the very unique thrust ships. All in all, by the events of the Black Fleet Crisis, the new Black Fleet of the Yevethan was made up of 3 super Star Destroyers plus about 60 other Imperial vessels, all the way from Battlecruiser and Star Destroyer down to Victory class. Additionally, the Black Fleet also made use of the experimental XF ship, which I'll probably cover in another video, and perhaps hundreds of smaller, what were called thrust ships, basically small circular vessels which could fire in every direction. Anyway, the Yevethan, who formed the Duskhan League, after throwing off the yoke of the Empire, spent some time colonizing worlds, and stayed extremely segregated from the rest of the galaxy. Visitors were not allowed in and were killed on sight, and the Yevethan did not leave their territory. That is until 16 ABY, when leader of the Duskhan League, Nils Spar, took a thrust ship to Coruscant in what was supposed to be a diplomatic meeting. In fact, however, Nils Spar was simply creating political credibility for what would become an atrocity scene galaxy-wide. Nils Spar spent months meeting with Princess Leia, who at that point was Chief of State of the New Republic. So long, in fact, that by the time he was ready to leave, Nils Spar was able to portray the New Republic as forcibly keeping them on world. The New Republic also was not aware of the Black Fleet within the Duskhan League's possession, and Leia was trying really hard to broker some sort of cooperation or perhaps even New Republic membership out of the relationship. However, others within the New Republic military, especially Admiral Akbar, were very worried about the Duskhan League and thought that they might in fact be in possession of the ships of Black Sword Command. So spies were illegally sent within the Kunat cluster and within Duskhan League territory and were immediately destroyed. By this point, Nils Spar had returned to home space, and the Duskhan League used this act of espionage alongside the fact that the 5th Fleet had recently been sent into the area to justify major acts of aggression against nearby star systems, and I'm talking about major. The Duskhan League would commit what they referred to as a purge against other colonies within their part of the galaxy. The Duskhan League, of course, was extraordinarily xenophobic. They saw other alien species as dirty and basically unworthy of sharing the galaxy with them. This is partially because the Duskhan League developed in isolation for so long that they really thought they were the center of the galaxy. The Purge basically claimed any colonized world within the Kunat cluster, and we actually see this played out from the perspective of victims of the Purge at the end of the novel, and it's actually quite horrifying. On the farming world of Brigia, we see colonists slaughtered by Yevathans who landed on thrust ship in hand-to-hand combat, and on Poloni, the planet was bombarded from orbit, and it was really quite horrifying. Poloni would actually become a very important moment in this conflict, however, because one individual known as Plat Malar would actually record the entire events and would flee the system. The crazy thing was, he fled in a TIE Interceptor, a vessel which did not have a hyperdrive, and it was only through chance that he and his footage was recorded. I say this was an important moment because this footage would help break the political maneuvering that the Duskhan League was using against the New Republic and would expose their actions for what they were, barbaric and xenophobic. By the time this stage of the Purge was over, probably a dozen colonies had been wiped out, with the Duskhan League moving in to claim their territory and resources. In response, the New Republic would send the state-of-the-art 5th Fleet, which was already heading to the region to look for the ships of Black Sword Command, to protect all other colonies from the Yevethan. At this point, many worlds were petitioning the New Republic for membership and thus defense. But I can cover the rest of the Black Fleet crisis if you guys are interested. If so, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn notifications on. As always, guys, this has been your host, EckhartsLadder. Be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.